viewers, welcome to the news at 5 on Channels Television. I'm Joker Rogers. Here are the news reports we're tracking for you this hour. The Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, has deployed Deputy Inspector General of Police, Isiaku Mohammed, to Osun State to oversee security operations for Saturday's governorship election. The police says the deployment is designed to strengthen security and support a peaceful and credible electoral process. DIG Mohammed will coordinate the police election security team while working with other agencies under the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. Senior police officers have also been deployed across Osun's 3 senatorial districts to enhance intelligence gathering and ensure rapid response to threats. The police have meanwhile reiterated a ban on armed escorts and unauthorized security personnel at polling and collation centers. Meanwhile, Amnesty International has condemned comments allegedly made by Senator Francis Fadahunsi during a political campaign ahead of Saturday's Osun State governorship election. In a statement, the human rights organization described the remarks as reckless and capable of inciting violence following the circulation of a video in which the senator was allegedly heard urging supporters to attack members of the Accord Party. Amnesty International said such statements have no place in a democratic society and warned against actions capable of threatening peace and public safety. The organization called on Nigerian authorities to uphold their responsibility to prevent hate speeches, hostility, discrimination, and violence. Amnesty also urged political actors to conduct their campaigns peacefully and cautioned against inflammatory rhetoric that could undermine the credibility of the electoral process. In the meantime, the senator representing Osun East, Francis Fadahunsi, has arrived at the Osun State Police Command headquarters in Osogbo for questioning ahead of Saturday's governorship election. Mr. Fadahunsi arrived at about 2:35 p.m. accompanied by the Commissioner of Police in charge of election security. The police invited him following a viral video in which he was allegedly heard making inflammatory remarks against members of the opposition Accord Party during an APC campaign in Ilesha. Police authorities say that the comments were a serious concern ahead of the elections. The invitation comes as security agencies intensify measures to prevent violence and inflammatory conduct ahead of Saturday's poll in Osun State. In the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission has added the Social Democratic Party's candidate, Dr. Francis Ajala, and his running mate, Fasheke Oladipo, to the ballot for Saturday's Osun State governorship election. The development follows a Federal High Court judgment delivered in Abuja on July 22, ordering INEC to recognize, process, and publish Mr. Ajala's candidacy. INEC says ballot papers and result sheets are already being produced to accommodate the SDP, bringing the number of participating political parties to 15. The Commission says the updated materials will arrive in Osun State on Thursday and be distributed to local government areas across the state. INEC reaffirmed its commitment to a free, fair and credible election on Saturday. Away from the Osun State governorship elections, vehicular movement to and from Ila in Oshimili North local government area of Delta State has been disrupted following the collapse of sections of the Ubolu-Ila Road. Several vehicles, including cement-laden trucks, have become stranded along the failed portions, with some reportedly getting stuck while attempting to navigate the bad spots, resulting in a major blockage. The journey into Ila in Oshimili North local government area of Delta State has become a difficult experience for commuters as they struggle to navigate the deplorable portions of the Ubolu-Ila Road. The affected stretch runs from Ubolu-Ila axis down to Ngene-Ajajila and Ngegu-Ajajila before reaching the main town.
I told the governor to come and walk the road for us.
For motorists and passengers, what should ordinarily be a routine trip is now a battle against deep potholes, failed sections and muddy portions of the road.
In a situation like this, I wonder if we have a state governor, local government chairman, because their presence has not been felt in this place. Even if a federal road, there is a state government that should do something also about it. Senators, we have senators that are benefiting for constituency projects and all that. So by all means, they shouldn't allow people to go through what they're going through.
With heavy-duty vehicles constantly attempting to pass through the failed sections, the level of deterioration is beyond ordinary repair, as residents insist on urgent rehabilitation to restore access to their community.
This is a major exit for Ela, for everybody. Even people coming from Abuja, they used this road before now. And so now today, if this road is worked on, Ela will be free again. We are now we're like in a cage. We're caged. We're no exit points. So it's difficult to use a vehicle to go through that route. Otherwise, you'll be causing a great damage to your vehicle, or you get stuck for days there.
They are therefore calling on the state government and relevant authorities to treat the road as an emergency project.
You see, the road we are standing here right now is a federal road that leads from Asaba, from the eastern part from Asaba to Ila, to Ibu, to the Edo State, and then to Abuja is a federal road. As we speak, we are totally disconnected.
In response to their concerns, the Oshimili North Council chairman assures residents that Governor Sheriff Oberewori is aware of the situation and the steps are already being taken to fix the road and restore access.
As we speak, the Ministry of Works, Rural and Urban and Highways, they have also commenced anytime soon. The governor sent a delegation from that ministry. They were there last week. And I can categorically, say that within the next 2 weeks, work will commence on that road.
Residents say restoring the Ugboli-Ila road is essential to easing transportation, boosting local economic activities, and reconnecting the community with neighboring areas. More infrastructure matters. The Akwa Ibom State Governor has commissioned 4.8 kilometers of roads in Eket local government area and reaffirmed his administration's commitment to completing viable projects inherited from previous administrations. Governor Umoino says the projects are part of ongoing efforts to improve infrastructure and enhance economic activities across the state.
Residents of Eket local government area in Akwa Ibom State turn out to witness the commissioning of the 2.4-kilometer Ikorakpa Ikburwa Odoyang Road and the 2.4-kilometer internal road network within Nkpaka State phases 1 and 2. The state government is constructing about 38 kilometers of roads across Eket with plans for an additional 12 kilometers, bringing the total road project in the area to 50 kilometers. It's also taking stock of projects inherited from previous government that add socioeconomic value to rural communities.
We have been completing projects that we inherited. And we'll keep assessing the projects. When we find out that they have economic value to our people, we go ahead to complete it. So it was important that we make sure that the roads within these housing estates are well done. The Odio Road is being worked on as we speak.
The Commissioner for Works and Fire Service gives more details about the projects.
Your Excellency, this road has been done to all specifications, and the second project is Mbok Estate. That Mbok Estate has 9 internal roads, and we have done with full drains across the whole project. And apart from the 9 internal roads, there's an outflow drain that has taken water out of that place. Most of the owners of the property were afraid that that place they have lost their investment. But now, Your Excellency, you have brought in your own project to make sure you flagged up that project, and we are here today to commission it because it is 100% complete.
Chairman of Eket local government area, Akaniene Tommy, is excited about the economic prospects of the road networks.
Your Excellency, just like I said when we came for the flag off of this project, I told you that this project, this housing estate was about 40-something years when you came for the flag off. And today, by the special grace of God, you are here again to commission this 2.4 kilometers internal road. On behalf of the people of this housing estate, they are really, really grateful, and I want to thank you for all that you've done.
The glory of God, for the use of humanity to commission this road in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
With more road opening up communities and easing movements across Eket and neighboring local government areas, the Akwa Ibom State government says the projects are expected to stimulate economic activities, improve connectivity, and create greater opportunities for the residents.
The Lagos State Waste Management Authority says it has prosecuted at least 259 persons for alleged indiscriminate waste disposal across the state in the last 7 months as part of efforts to enforce environmental sanitation laws. The Managing Director of LOMA, Mr. Muyiwa Gbadegeshi, disclosed this at a media parley on the activities of the agency held at its headquarters in the Ijora-Olokpa area of Lagos State. Mr. Gbadegeshi said the prosecutions, which resulted in convictions, followed increased surveillance, public complaints, and targeted enforcement operations in markets, roadsides, canals, and residential areas identified as locations for illegal waste disposal. He also says LOMA is working with community leaders, market associations, and private sector participant operators to improve waste collection services and address locations where inadequate collection could contribute to indiscriminate dumping of refuse.
From January to July, we prosecuted 259. How many were convicted? All convicted, so 100%. And 259, and that's because we always ensure that we have very good evidence before we take them to court. Video evidence, photo evidence, most of them caught in the act. With respect to Road E, there has been a reduction in turnaround time. However, what that means is that more PSPs are coming there, who before they were going to other sites, which is understandable. But our work hasn't stopped there. We're still continuing with rehabilitation work on Road B and C on the other side. And we're also doing some work at Iwuelepe, Badagry, and Okiosho. The view to winding down activity at each of those dump sites. We've developed a schedule in partnership with the CDA so that our truck will go into the inner streets and receive waste directly from the neighbors. This is the intermediate intervention pending the time we can introduce a new PSP operator, and we plan to do that in other areas of the states which are experiencing serious challenges. This is to underline the fact that we do not want residents bringing their waste to the median. It's better for us to engage with your CDA or with your estate where you don't have PSP operator so that we can come in and do direct collection.
When we come back on the news of 5, the new Commissioner of Police in Abia State promises to strengthen intelligence-led policing. That's a moment. Please stay with us.
We all see the world differently, but our time zones, politics, diplomacy, and sometimes conflict all converge in one place on The World Today. The World Today brings you those headlines from around the world with in-depth discussions that help you understand the world we live in. Don't be in the dark. Catch us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. only on Channels Television.
Welcome back. The new Commissioner of Police in Abia State, Wilfred Afolabi, says he will deepen existing security structures and strengthen intelligence-led policing in line with the directives of the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu. Mr. Afolabi, who takes over from Danladi Isa as the 35th Commissioner of Police in Abia State, says his administration will focus on strengthening the command security architecture, improving intelligence gathering, and enhancing crime prevention. Speaking shortly after assuming office, the new commissioner also warned officers against indiscipline, abuse of power, and other forms of unprofessional conduct.
What the IG has come up with as its agenda is what I will try to replicate here. Deepen security structures, already existing security structures on ground. Because of my intelligence background, intelligence is really going to be given much priority. We are not going to pay lip service to it. We are going to make sure that the intelligence structures are re-engineered and intelligence network enhanced. We will be going to communities to meet with stakeholders. And when I talk about stakeholders, it's all compassing youth leaders, religious leaders, retailers, pharmacists, proprietors of schools, traditional rulers, everybody, where we'll be involving them in dialogue.
The West African Regulators Forum has highlighted several bottlenecks hindering the establishment of benchmark pricing for petroleum products in the sub-region, including critical infrastructure gaps, significant disparities in product quality, and inadequate institutional capacity. According to the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Rabiu Umar, the forum has now decided to tackle head-on these challenges, as benchmark pricing will help to tackle critical menaces like cross-border smuggling of products. Mr. Umar also revealed that the regulators are open to partnering with the financial sector to improve infrastructure development.
The biggest takeaway is that we need to move to integration and ensure that each country is positioned for what it has strength on. So that way there will not be duplication of every single infrastructure. That way you have proper integration, and I think this year's event has gone very well, and I believe that within the next couple of months we should begin to see concrete results.
Yes.
Okay, so that the first step is to unify the quality, like I said in my speech yesterday. If you don't have the same quality, then it's difficult because each quality has a price. So if you have a 50 ppm product or you have a 200 ppm product, they don't price the same way. So the first thing we're trying to do through the West Africa Regulators Forum is to make sure that there is a uniformity in terms of the product quality specification. And then the next step is then to look at the liquidity, because if you do not have the molecules, it's difficult to have a price benchmark. And then the third one is then to look at the infrastructure, which basically is to say who has competitive advantage where, and how do we ensure that all the trade barriers in terms of custom, in terms of crossing from one country to another, all these things are now kind of, all the red tape is cut, such that there will be free flow of petroleum products across the borders. So
Business news: the Senate Public Accounts Committee has given Seplat Energy Network ENP Nigeria Limited and 2 other oil companies a 48-hour ultimatum to appear before it and respond to queries contained in the 2021, 2022 and 2023 audit reports of the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. The committee, chaired by Senator Ibrahim Dankwabo, warns that failure to honor the invitation could lead to the invocation of the National Assembly's legislative powers against the affected companies. The decision follows concerns raised by members of the committee over the failure of the companies to appear before it to respond to issues raised in the NATI reports. Similar directives were issued to the managing directors of All Grace Energy Limited, Aradel Energy Limited and Seplat Energy after the committee noted their absence from the proceedings. Nigeria's macroeconomic indicators are showing signs of improvement, but the big question is whether these gains are translated into better living standards and stronger business conditions at the micro level. Professor Joseph Nana, chief economist of the Development Bank of Nigeria, says affordable credit and human capital development will be critical to ensuring that economic recovery is felt by households and businesses.
Economy, when you have policies that are conducive for businesses to continue to invest and hire more people, when you develop your human capital and your workforce broadly, you will begin to see inclusive growth happen. Access to finance typically becomes more important at this juncture. So if you broaden and deepen financial intermediation, for instance, you will begin to see businesses grow. You will start to see businesses hire more people. Productivity will begin to rebound and shoot up. And ultimately, this has a widespread, if you like, prosperity effect. The truth is, private sector credit broadly has increased. However, more needs to be done, because ultimately, where is the money actually going to? If it's going to the real economy, for instance, now you will see manufacturing sector, specifically manufacturing sector that does not require inputs from outside of the country. So businesses in the manufacturing sector who actually rely on inputs within the country stand a better chance of growing, quite frankly, much faster than those that require inputs from outside the country.
The Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria is stressing the need for trust, integrity and professionalism in the banking and finance industry. The Institute's 24th president and chairman of council, Dele Alabi, says bankers must uphold the confidence placed in them while discharging their responsibilities with integrity, prudence and accountability. Mr. Ablabi says the conversations on this and how CIBN will dominate the forthcoming 19th CIBN Annual Banking and Financial Conference.
Banking is all about the financial intermediation process. The financial intermediation process involves taking money from the surplus sector and giving to the deficit sector. Banks in Nigeria will continue to play that critical role of financial intermediation in this country. We're determined and we're poised to ensure that we continue to add significant value to the Nigerian economy. And as an institute, we will continue to be the focal point in driving the impact vision to ensure that we actually contribute significantly to the Nigerian economy. It has been widely accepted, and there's empirical evidence to support the fact that an economy cannot grow to a $1 trillion mark without the support of the financial services sector. And therefore, as players, core players in the financial services industry, we are willing, ready to support the federal government in achieving this objective of growing the economy of Nigeria significantly in the foreseeable future. But as an institute, we do believe that challenges are meant to be surmounted, but should not be limiting factors for being able to achieve the objective and goals that we have set for ourselves. Therefore, we're going to come up with SME clinics where we're going to build the capacity of our SMEs with a view to ensuring that we bring them to a level where banks can lend to them. We have also said to our colleagues, the bank CEOs, that lending to SMEs in a profitable and secured manner are not mutually exclusive.
And that's it on the news at 5. Thank you for watching. I'm Joker Rogers.